At the start of this year I bought a new tent. To test it out I did a couple of shorter trips before going on my 3-week-long road trip across Europe. This is the second test. 4 days in Luxembourg during spring. Of course, day 1 includes setting up camp and making sure I have a home base for the next few days. I have an inflatable tent, so it's really easy to set up all by myself. Before I got there, I like to stop alongside the road to have an adventure right away on day 1. I decided to stop at my first castle for this trip, Vianden. Luckily, it wasn't too busy, and after getting some drone shots, I decided to explore up close and enter the castle as well. Being so early in the season made for some great exploration and capturing the history of this castle without having any people in the shot. It was a great start for this trip, getting back into the adventure and exploration mode. I really enjoy going out on these adventures and I don't mind at all doing them solo. Unfortunately, the weather wasn't as good on day 2. With a very rainy morning, I decided to visit Luxembourg City, instead of going out into nature. I was lucky enough because after arriving in the city, the rain quickly passed and I had a great afternoon exploring. This city looks amazing. The old town with its historic buildings is amplified by the nature around it. Especially for someone like me from a very flat country, it just feels magical walking around here. In combination with the old buildings, it just transports me away like I'm in a movie. And I don't mind just wandering around town and taking in all the sights. On my way back to base camp, I stopped by another castle, in a worse state this time, but it's still very cool to see history like this. Wandering around, enjoying the views, and trying to capture some more before calling it a day. On day 3, it was finally time to go explore the Müllerthal, also known as Little Switzerland, and finally go for a hike. I started off at a very popular waterfall before setting off on my hike into nature and leaving other people behind for the day. I love just being out in nature, away from society and emptying my mind. And in spring, the added bonus is seeing everything slowly come back to life. And this place was pretty spectacular. Besides the amazing waterfall, some nice forest hikes with cool cliffs and rock formations. After looking back around, I arrived at probably one of my favorite rock formations, this amazing looking skull. Every adventure has a beginning and an end, and this was already my last day in Luxembourg. After packing up all my stuff, I started my drive back home, but instead of going home straight away, I had a couple of stops along the way to see some more castles, because they're pretty much everywhere here. My favorite of the day was the Boursheid Castle, where I decided to take a longer stop and actually explore the castle grounds as well, to have one last adventure and get lost in the history wandering around the castle grounds. This really was a great trip to explore again and do it on a budget, and it really helped rekindle my love for camping and hiking, and I immediately realized that I should be doing this way more often, and I will be planning more trips and weekends away to go explore and just wander in nature.